Are we gonna shoot or what?
I'm waiting on you.
You're not waiting on me.
I'm
All right.
waiting on you.
Okay, your mic's not even over there. I can't even get a mic check
Where
because
my
I don't.
mic at?
Your mic is in your face. You
I
just.
told you in the beginning, I love every tier of my life. Recruiting is the hardest job I've had my entire
Really?
career. Entire career. It's a challenge. Like we
Yeah.
have to get to a number every day, and I can't
I
get
can't
the
go do
number.
it.
Right? You know, like
I can't go do it for
I
you.
cannot go do it for my recruiters.
Roll it to you.
I try to make sure that I'm not doing anything real estate wise on the military's clock. And most things aren't urgent where you have to. It's
A
a
lot of
challenge.
time.
Like
And I'm gonna be honest. For you to come from Camden, nothing against Camden, but
Like
there's
I told
something
you.
that happened along some timeline where you're like, I will never do that again.
But you know, when it's so new and you're grinding, you don't even think about chilling.
Nope.
You know,
or eating, like we were talking about earlier. Shoot.
or eating. You feel like it's
Right.
okay
Yeah.
to. It's a challenge. Get 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
What's wrong with that? Some people
Like I told
would
you,
say you're doing too much.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing enough. But, you know, sometimes when it's so I'm not doing enough. If I could squeeze in, I would go to
Or
I would go to
eating,
law
like we
school
said earlier.
or eating. You
People
feel
are
like it's
running
okay
for the for
to,
sale signs.
You know, get 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
All you have
What's
to
wrong
do
with
is
that?
get an
Some
address.
people
If you
would
see an
say you're
abandoned
doing too
home
much.
and it doesn't have a
Yeah.
for sale
I'm
sign,
not
but
doing
you know it's
enough.
abandoned because you passed by the last 3 years.
I'm
You have
not
not
doing
seen
enough. If I
anyone
could
there.
squeeze
No one's
in,
living there.
I
Get
would
the
go-
address,
probably go to
go
law
to the
school.
courthouse, get the property record. The
People
property
are
record is going to
running
tell you
for the for
everything
sale
about the
sign.
home, and guess what? Who owns it?
To whoever may need this nugget of encouragement, things will be alright, so quit your worrying. I get it, the odds can stack back against the wall, but even consider it.
Back with another episode of Still for Friends, where we bring on dope people who do dope stuff. Now, y'all are not gonna. I'll tell you what. To see all the mess that happened at the very beginning, you have to wait to the very end. But we are here today with somebody who has a lot of titles. So many titles, I don't even know if there's any room left on her resume to have more stuff. So I'm just gonna go through a few of these real quick. Commander, realtor, investor, black lady, code switcher pro, and all that good stuff. Today's guest is Crystal Browning. Thank you, Crystal, for being here today. Did I
Thank you,
miss any of your
Thomas.
titles? I'm gonna cut you off. Did I miss any of your titles?
Title's great.
Okay.
Don't worry about the titles.
We're gonna go right into the titles. So you got an impressive resume. So before we even get
I want
started,
to make sure that I dress down enough for you today.
I think it looks
Golly.
fine. Do you want us to move that knee shot? Like, is it because the knee, that kneecap is out? And there's nothing wrong with having ashy knees. We'll blend that, make it up. It's fine. Shout out to Johnson & Johnson, who's today's sponsor. When you are in the market for having something that shows that it's cold, but you don't want it to be, Johnson & Johnson.
I was going to like wear a polo and
You
some
shoulda
khakis,
wore
and
what you
I
had
don't,
on.
I don't have any.
If you would have,
I wanted to
I
match you.
own
I
zero
tried.
khakis.
I don't have any
Every time you go out, you either got to dress nice or you're not going out at all.
at all.
That takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, for you to come from Camden, nothing against Camden, but there's something that happened along some timeline where you're like, I will never do that again. Whether it's seeing somebody at a Walmart with that bonnet on. I never see you in a bonnet either.
And you will never see me in a bonnet.
Never see you in a bonnet.
You will never see
never
me
see
in
you
a
in a
bonnet.
muumuu.
No, I don't own a moo.
You so capped. Every black woman owns a muumuu.
I don't have a moo.
Okay, that is. I'm trying to get some sponsorships, and you over here dumping on
Well,
muumuus.
it won't be with moo. I get you a hair sponsorship, makeup, clothes.
Muumuu is where we draw the line.
Right.
So, with you being a commander, realtor, investor, when somebody asks, so what do you do? How do you even answer that?
You know, I just let them know I do creative work in a lot of things, right? And I let them know that every tier I love.
Yeah, but how do you go through all of those? Do you associate it for the conversation to see which one you need to bring up?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just flex it all? I mean,
Well, honestly, most of the time I do because a lot of people they don't realize that I'm in the military
Right.
full time. So that's always impressive. And they're like, oh my, you're in the military and you're an officer? And I'm just like, yeah.
that's always usually the one that I feels like is the oh my. You could say you're an investor in the real estate,
Yeah.
and then now that just feels cliche. Like, everybody doing that. But that's clutch. That's clutch. So before we kind of get too far up into it, I want you to know that the preface is going to be around leadership in real estate and all that dope stuff. Folks that actually, so that somebody should be able to tangibly take an action away from what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
It. So if I feel like you trying to gatekeep, I'm going to make sure she don't. I got y'all. I got y'all.
I mean, the world already knows I'm not a gatekeeper. I feel like there's enough for all of us. So
Absolutely.
Why would I not share?
That sounds good on paper. Now, why don't everybody else do that, you think? Because
Well,
everything
most people aren't confident, and they're not confident enough. Nobody can run off and take and do what God has given me better than me.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But that's why people typically monetize the stuff that they do. But, oh, you want to know how I do it? Here's a step to process on how to do
Yeah.
something. And we can hint towards that. I think I overheard you recently saying you got something coming out for that. But we'll hold tight on that.
Okay.
So, all right. So, misconception. When they hear Army Commander and then they end up finding out you sell homes, what are people assuming or thinking? Because Commander, we're thinking you 24/7 on the clock. Something pop off, you in there. But then also you have client concerns and problems that you have to worry with. So maybe do you feel like you've lost clients because of that? Or people think you really have no time to give toward the other side one way or the other? How do you divide that mentally? And then what are people thinking?
Well, so I'm always very transparent about the load. The military comes first. The military has allowed me to do all of the second and third order things that I do right now. So, of course, like in the military, we have teams, we have battle buddies. You have that chain of command that supports you every day. I could never be a successful commander without my first sergeant,
That's right.
without my NCOICs, without my recruiter. So we all have our own role. We're all accountable. We know our division of labor, which is the things you have to do every day
Regardless.
to be successful, right? And so you know how it is. You know, my first sergeant and I, we're up here
Yep.
at the top. We're managing it every day. So my clients, they understand I get up and I go to my full-time job every day, right? So they know that my Mondays are off, so I can dedicate unlimited time to my Mondays. They know that I work from typically, 8 to 5, available after the fact. I have a transaction coordinator who pretty much communicates with all of my clients. So they know that in the interim when I'm out, she's available.
There's going to be some point where you're either going to have the communication or know when to expect communication coming in.
Right. So, I mean, the expectation is already set. They know that
On the front end.
on the front end,
Okay.
right? So if they need something immediate, that's different. Shoot me a text. I'll work, around my schedule. But I try to make sure that I'm not doing anything real estate wise on the military's clock. And most things aren't urgent where you have to.
Right.
That's what people,
Yeah.
have to realize. Like,
They say if you make everything urgent, nothing's a priority.
right.
But how do you try to tell your clients that although this thing is happening, or maybe Joe forgot to do something, and I don't know if you ever work with Joe, but somebody, one of the guys from HD forgot to do something, the client is upset about it, or because stuff happens. How do you let them, that's all part of the process? Do you explain that into detail on the back end?
No, I explained that
Or front end?
on the front
Okay.
end for sure. Even when you're buying, but definitely when you're building, because a lot of things come up on a daily basis when you're building,
Right.
because most people are on site building your home. So, I explained to them, if it's not on fire, it's okay, right? Like, and I always give the analogy: we have glass balls and we have rubber balls, right? This is not a glass ball situation. You
Gotcha.
drop it, it's not going to break.
Got you.
You drop it, it's going to bounce back up. We're going to pick it up. We're going to resolve it, and we're going to move on. So again, I have to set a lot of expectation on the front end due to my military obligation. And it doesn't mean it still doesn't happen, right? Because
Right.
home buyers, they get a little anxious, right? And they want to know things right then.
Exactly.
In some scenarios, I've had to handle things right then, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I always, at the end of the day, I'm reminding them, remember what I told
double
you,
tap it.
this was going to come up. It's a matter of how we handle it. But most important, let me handle the stress.
So with them, you're talking them off a cliff by saying, hey, this is a glass ball or rubber ball. But then, something, it may not be as a rubber ball to you. How do you separate what's a rubber ball or glass ball depending on what they want or what they find value in? Or is the whole situation already comes with its rubbers and glasses and you're like, hey, I know you may think because your dough ain't painted or whatever, but I don't care because you think that's the best thing. You hold tight.
Right. I mean, it all goes, and I always use the build example, right? So, of course, a buyer could go in and they want to know why, the cabinets are up, but we don't have the pulls. They feel because the cabinets are already installed, it should have the pulls. But that's not a big ticket item to a builder.
Got you.
You'll get the pulls likely a week before you close. But they'll be there for the walkthrough. So you just have to get them to understand this is the phase, and they're not going to call in someone just to put pulls on the door when that person will complete 3 additional tasks, right?
That
Not
makes
just
sense.
that one.
Right.
So I think most important, education, being open, but you have to have that relationship with your clients to be able to say, calm down, come here, come here. Bring it on in. You know how you do this, your line, bring it in.
Hold tight.
Yeah,
real quick.
it's okay.
With do you feel like the more money someone is coming to you with, they want to build a home or regardless, or maybe purchase a home, and not as a stab to the client. I want to make sure I say that, not a stab to the client, but when someone is spending more money, are more problems typically there, or is it the less money, there's more problems? That's why I said it slowly.
I'm gonna be very honest.
Okay.
How do I say this?
You're right.
Let me just say it. So honestly, with my clients, because I deal with all price
That's
points,
right.
from I don't care, it could be 50,000 all the way up to $1 million. I find it to be more easier with my more high-end clients. Now the expectation is different as as it should be, right? But to me, my lower end clients have probably stressed me out more.
Yeah.
But a lot of the clients, I mean, it's their first time like
was about to
buying a
ask that.
home. So, everything is urgent. Everything is anxious
Right.
because it's their first time experience in the home buying process.
And you try to make it as seamless and smooth as possible.
Oh,
huh?
seamless as possible. That's why education is key initially. So just because someone has a consultation and they're wanting to buy a home doesn't mean they're necessarily going to work with me.
Gotcha.
Because I have to make sure that, I'm jiving and vibing with my
Right.
clients. They understand me. I
You took
understand
it back to the
years.
60s. She said jiving.
Jiving
boy.
and vibing.
Right,
'Cause
okay.
everybody's not going to vibe with you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crystal cannot get all the business. I don't need all the business.
Right.
So.
And nor could you handle all of the business.
Nor could I handle all the business because guess what? I'm in the military.
Doggone it.
I'm an
Doggone it.
investor. I
I
want to
told her
flip
to
me a couple
retire. I
houses.
told her to retire last week. She said she got about how many more years
3.
left? 3 more years. God
I'll be
bless.
done then.
So you 34 and you got 3 more years left. That's what I'm talking
God
about.
is good. God is good. He allowed me to join when I was 12.
So if I had to guess, you probably don't do you don't do lazy very well. You don't do the term lazy. You have all these things that you're in. When do you have a day off? When's your chill?
When's my chill?
Yeah, when is your chill?
So last year, which was year 2 for me in real estate, sometimes when it's so new and you're grinding, you don't even think about chilling.
Nope.
Or
Or eating, like we were talking about earlier. Shoot.
eating. You feel like it's okay to, get 4 or 5 hours of sleep.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, it's going to have your eyes black. You're going to be
Yeah, okay.
exhausted. Your brain power will weaken. So I learned a lot from last year. And I was like, I'm going to make some healthier decisions for 25.
Yeah.
I'm getting me 6 to 7 hours of sleep, which is appropriate
Right.
and adequate. And what you need when you are balancing, what did I say, balancing?
We knew balancing. We knew what you meant.
I'm sorry.
You good. Go
Had
ahead.
2 words combined. When you're balancing enough, you need to stay fresh. You need you need to get your rest. You need to look good. You need to feel good. I was exhausted a lot last year.
Yeah.
So my schedule, everything I have to manage, it's not going to change. So you just implement some of that self-care, going to bed, getting massages, getting facial. So those are all the self-care things that I'm doing. And, I won't always have an opportunity to have an off day.
Right.
Right. So that's why you have to integrate all those other self-care things so that you can keep going. So I do try to allot, I'm off every other Monday. I try to do nothing on some of my Mondays and or Sundays.
Okay.
But I can tell you, I relaxed the whole month of January. I don't think I posted anything real estate wise in January.
Was that good for you? Do you feel like you missed something because you did that?
I didn't. I was fine.
Not missed as in opportunities, but do you feel like you I feel like when I'm not working, I feel like all the stuff that I do are glass balls. But when I'm not working, I'm like, if I don't send those 12 DMs I need to send or whatever, then somebody else gonna get the business. Do you feel like you're gonna miss something because you don't do?
Well, just because you take off, that doesn't mean you like completely shut down, right? So I still conducted a few calls, but it was if I wanted to.
Got you.
If not, we'll have to do it in February. And I just wanted to relax.
Mm-hmm.
The first week it was rough. I think did we
Just
have
say still? It was rough because you had to say still, like to not do nothing, but rough as in like business wise, all the.
No, it was rough because I was thinking, is this what I'm supposed to be doing
right,
the
right.
first week in the new year? Because
Right.
normally, it's hustle bustle, it's
Yes,
the new year.
go.
I have to do this. But I was just like, let me just chill. And after that week, I was fine. I think we had some snow days. So I just feel like, okay,
Everybody else is off too
let's
now.
just keep relaxing. And then, of course, week 3, I was like, I need to post something. But then week 3 is my birthday. Let's celebrate my birthday. So
Why not? Why not? You're
And
30,
then-
34 and
yeah,
you're doing it right.
And then the last week, I'm like, you know what? Let's just wait until February.
Black History Month. Why not?
Yeah.
Today's episode is brought to you by Black History Month, the entire month of February. I told a guy the other day, or actually yesterday on a live, I said, there's a few things that we don't need in the month of February. And this is what I said to him. I said, if you're not of the African American descent, we don't need to know that you also think every month should be Black History Month. I don't need you to come up here and tell me that. Like, you know what, Thomas? I think every month should be Black History Month. I don't need to hear that particular statement.
Yeah.
I don't need to know that your homeboy or brother is also married to somebody who has a black husband. There's some things I don't need this month in particular. And I just want to make sure I put that out there.
It's out there.
Yeah, I make sure of it. Probably have this one actually clipped. All right, so black women in leadership in the military. The first person I saw, or that I actually know, watch me use this public education here real quick. First time I known a black person in a leadership position as an officer was Colonel Ingram at the time. And then I'm gonna be honest, there's one other black lady that's officer. I'm sorry if I forget your name. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna put it in there somewhere. And then I saw you coming from down here. Before you got down here, we just knew lady from DC coming down to do stuff in R&R. So I don't know what y'all side of the community looks like on officers, and then black officers, and then black women officers. But that, I would say you're going against the traditional mold of what y'all typically would do. Like, is there a ton of black folks doing officer women wise?
No.
And out of all the things you could do, why'd you decide to become an officer?
Well, I always wanted to be an Army social worker. And of course, to become an Army social worker, you have to be a commissioned officer.
Okay.
So there aren't any enlisted positions like what
What's
you
a
hold.
social worker for those who don't know?
Everybody knows what a social
Yeah, but
worker
maybe there's somebody that don't know. I mean, what's it? I don't know what a
So in the-
social worker is. What are you doing?
In the Army, an Army social worker serves as a person that works in a medical facility
Mm-hmm.
or a medical hospital, and you handle, in our case, soldiers with mental health issues,
Got you.
behavioral issues. Sometimes it kind of you have them as a kid, and sometimes they still stick with you into adulthood.
Well, that's what I was thinking more. So was that a kid thing? But it's for the families of the soldiers is where that would come in?
No, we typically we only treat soldiers in the military when you're Army social
Got
workers,
you.
unless you do work in the civilian sector.
Got
But
you.
It's basically, of course, we have an ICD code book, and diagnosing and things of that nature.
So were you over, was you at 296 or 213th initially?
So
Was you over there in that?
So I've served in 213. Platoon commander, XO, and then I think 296 I was commander, and then
When did you go off to DC? Because this is before I was AGR, I thought.
No. So I guess I was ADOS for so long, and then I did Title 10. I did Title 10 prior to going to DC as well in San Antonio. So I just went to DC for recruiting in 2020. But
Okay.
prior to that, I was at 871st as the executive officer for the 871st Troop Command. Then
Got you.
I went on to DC to learn about recruiting because it was nowhere on my career progression worksheet.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, leadership, they were doing a new talent management program.
Yeah.
asked me to go up to learn about recruiting. I'm always open to new things.
Absolutely.
So I went up to learn about recruiting. So the military sent me there on a 2-year order. I worked in the recruiting operations branch to prepare me to come back to Arkansas to take the XO slot and command slot.
I know somebody's listening to this and is immediately getting overwhelmed with probably just the first statement of just all the stuff that you do. And now you're also going to pursue additional education to continue to learn, At what point can we just, you know what, this is enough. I think I got all the pieces that I need. Maybe I need to bring on one of these young cats to go do stuff, or you know what, I still need to understand what's happening, so I'm gonna continue to learn. How do you manage because some things aren't broke, so you don't have to fix it, but you're gonna go and, all right, we got the wheel, but let's put a little bit of paint on it this time.
Yeah.
Listen.
No, I just think it's important to always keep yourself in the running and at the table at every level that's given the opportunity. So if I can go to war college, I'm going to war college.
Mm-hmm.
Some people define their careers at major where I am. Some people define their careers at lieutenant colonel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's next for me, hopefully. But I've always, it's been no secret since I was a lieutenant, I've always had brigadier general on my career progression worksheet. But I wanted to defer my retirement. So when I got 20 years, I don't want to hold up anybody else's growth.
Got you.
I want to then transition.
Keep going, rocking to your
Right.
civilian
I can
side.
I can do real estate full time,
Mm-hmm.
and I can continue to serve on a 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks out the year. So if I'm given the opportunity, I'm going to keep going, because that's the last PME, which is
Yeah.
primary military education, that I would have to do,
Dang.
which is war college.
And then it's because on our side, we're always saying that the officer side of stuff is pretty political in regards of, you can tell me if it is yes or no, but is it a lot of knowing the right individuals and playing more chess, broader pictures, trying to see, all right, I know if I can get to this training will allow me to get into this position, which will then, okay.
Yeah. I think politics are tied to a little bit of everything that we do. And I think it's okay to play a little politics. And that's what I'm saying. I feel like by me continuing to educate myself or make myself available to uproot my life and go to, DC.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's all politics, right?
Some people would say you're doing too much.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
I'm not doing enough. If I could squeeze in, I would probably go to law school if I could.
You feel so? Is working for you therapeutic in a way, or is it, or like certain type of work? Like, do you like working? Like would. Yeah. Okay.
Like
okay.
I told you in the beginning, I love every tier of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Recruiting is the hardest job I've had my entire career. Entire career. It's a challenge. Like we have to get to a number every day, and I can't get the number. Right? I
can't go do it for you.
I cannot go do it for my recruiters.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as we're good resource managers, making sure they're trained,
Mm-hmm.
making sure we're holding them accountable, we'll get the job done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love getting up, putting on that uniform every morning.
Mm-hmm.
I love taking it off. I love putting,
You get up. Mm-hmm. Your Johnson
I was about to say
lotion.
put my ish on. But
Yeah, like the lotion and stuff. Shout out to John and them.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, especially women, talk themselves out of leadership roles, because they think they have to be perfect first. So I think we had a minor conversation about this. What's your advice about somebody that's kind of like doubting or needing to wait till all these things happen before they go to the next piece?
My advice for that would be to always, really, you have to just be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to know that you're open. You have to know that you can really do what's set before you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And sometimes you really need to just go out and get it. Like, stop waiting for people to come.
I don't have all the pieces yet, though. I don't know everything.
You'll never know everything. You'll never know everything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everything that I've done, I've had to be trained in some capacity.
Right.
Right? That will never change. I had to be trained to be in the military,
Mm-hmm.
basic training. I had to go off to AIT to learn my job. I had to go to a 60-hour course to become a real estate agent.
Right.
I had to pass a test.
And
You have to know that you can do it.
and even if you are taught it, it may not even be applicable during that moment. Like I heard all the stuff that y'all learn in there is just to keep y'all, I guess, legally, you know, in your left and right limits legally, but it's not showing you how to do cold calls now.
No, it's not. It's not showing you how to, lead generate. It's making sure that you understand the contracts, the legalities to it. Right? It's not showing you how to open a super. It's not. It's not showing you how to go out and do social media. You have to be trained.
Yeah. Now,
Institutional, self-taught.
but with there being so much, you could be so overwhelmed in maybe what you want to make a priority. So do you contain it to where here's focus areas? I know in the military, obviously you'll have a progression of what needs to be focused on, but how do you do that as a civilian, or what do you do as a real estate agent to determine even from the investor side with all these hats, what's a priority?
So it's all a priority. Like I know I going to work is not an option.
Right.
Like I know I have to do that.
Yeah.
That is a priority, right? If I can't be at work, I know I need to put in leave. But when it comes to real estate and being an investor, some months I'm saying, hey, I'm going to kind of decrease my lead generation so I can focus on this house that I'm flipping, right?
Okay.
Which it's okay, because I tell people all the time, like, you're not going to get rich selling houses, representing buyers and, sellers. You have to integrate for me, I had to integrate the flipping to maximize,
Got you.
right? Because I'm only going to get, 2.4% potentially, or 2% to bring a buyer. Of course, with, the NAR changes, it's negotiable, right?
Right.
So, max 3.6 to list a house. But if I go and research and find me a house to flip, now we're talking about a matter of 4 months flipping a house, selling and making me 50 to 60,000.
Okay.
So think about that. I could go out here and, get me 20 buyers and sellers, but I'm going to die.
Right. So are you saying, if you're looking at it from a progression standpoint, you would, in theory, go real estate? I guess obviously you start with the end in mind, but are you looking at real estate agent, and then let's say you're flipping some of those, that revenue into you trying to do more of the fix and flip or fix and hold type of thing, and then it's going into, I don't know, land developer? I mean, so is that where the tiers are?
So for me, because I'm so new in real estate, because I'm not a 5-year real estate agent. I'm going into my 3rd year. I mean, I'm trying to figure out my niche in it. What do I really, really, really enjoy doing? I'm grateful that I am able to take the time to do that, hence having a full-time job.
Right.
So right now, my 1st year, I wanted to learn real estate, contracts. Can I lead generate? How to lead generate?
Yeah.
Figured that out, right?
Yeah.
So, and honestly, the 1st year I had developed, but again, I had been an investor since 2010. So I understand
okay.
buying houses and holding. So, of course, priority in real estate is always going to be my clients, but I can scale up or down with my lead generation.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm never going to bring someone on if I know I'm going to have to be in Camden
That makes sense.
1 day a week.
Right.
So I may have 5 clients that month, and I'll explain to them, hey, I know you're going to work with me, but I want to give you an excellent experience, and I can't do that if I know I'm going to be, ripping and running back and forth to Camden.
Dang. So you're gonna shift them to somebody else?
Or most of the time, they'll wait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but if not, if they really need to get a house right now, and I don't have the time, then I'll refer them. Hey, I have a real estate agent friend.
Got you.
She's available. She does this full time.
Right.
She'll take care of you.
Do you feel like you get any backlash, or do you feel like you've, even though you say you only been in for 3 years, your marketing does not show or present that you've been in for 3 years. It looks like you're full-time real estate agent. And then when they hear about the military side, do you feel like some Have you lost some clients because you're dabbling on both sides of it?
No, most people are like really interested in it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want to know, can you balance it? I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you use a calendar?
I do.
But where are you keeping track of everything mentally about what you're doing? I guess what's your organizational thing? Are you a write down? You a sticky note all over the bathroom window type of? How are you keeping everything organized?
Mainly my calendar, and I do have a notebook. I'm a writer as well, but most things are on my calendar.
Got you.
Now I do have 3 phones, so
See,
I'm
here we
having
go.
to I'm having to manage the 3 phones, but I mean that's okay.
Now, investing. How much? I'm going to just tell you layman's terms about what I think when I hear the word investing, and you just tell me if I'm even in the right vicinity. So when I'm thinking of investing, I am wanting to get a rundown property. I'm wanting to put $30,000 in it, and I want to flip it and make $100,000. Is that investing?
That could be a form of investing.
Okay, so when you do investing or some of your rental properties, because I just saw you had a rental property pop up in Camden. You do so much doggone stuff in Camden. Little Rock got space too, you know. Don't think you can't do stuff in Little Rock. How are you getting these rental properties? How are you flipping them and holding them? We see you out there in them when they're just bones and you're doing stuff. Can you kind of walk through what somebody should consider? I want one of those. I won't make a couple dollars. I want one of them. What should I be doing first?
Well, I can tell you what I did first.
Okay.
Right.
Is this a copy paste thing or I mean?
No.
Okay.
So the first thing I did was I bought real estate and I held it.
Real estate is like either land,
Yep,
rundown
land,
house.
houses.
Okay.
So I started in 2010 just buying homes,
Mm-hmm.
renovated them, put them on the market to rent/lease, however you want to,
Okay.
whichever term you want to use. So I did that for 10 to 12 years. Then my second phase is I developed and built Browning Estates, the duplexes.
Okay.
So I had went on the Southwest border mission and had like saved, like 40,000 bucks, right? I was 25, 26. I thought I had a lot of money. And I told my dad, I was like, I want to invest my money into something.
Right.
And he was like, what are you thinking? I was like, real estate. I hadn't really done any research or anything.
Family wasn't in real estate like that.
Family
Okay.
wasn't in real estate or anything. So he was like, okay, let's talk about it, right? So we talked about it. And what was crazy, like that following week, one of his classmates was selling her home. She was moving Little Rock, Conway area, and I think her father had passed away and had left his home to her.
Gotcha.
So she was going to have a home in Camden still, so she wanted to sell hers.
Gotcha.
So worked out. We worked the numbers. This was the first one, and
This is an older property.
this is an older property. She was living there though,
Gotcha.
so I knew that it was fine.
Gotcha.
So purchased it. I think I went in and put maybe 15,000 in it, and really it was mainly cosmetics. It still had the paneling on the wall, so replaced
I don't know what Penland is.
paneling. It's you probably Silver Spoon kid. It's the brown walls with the black lines.
The little divide in the middle.
Yeah.
I can give you a little splinter if you.
That.
Gotcha.
You had some of that. Okay. Acting brand new. So, of course, removed that, put sheetrock walls, painted, new cabinets, new flooring, check out the plumbing. I did not put central heating and air, so I had new window units in the home, paint.
Box fan. I mean,
No,
like,
no box fans.
Is
but
it that much of a difference to put an AC unit in there?
Absolutely. Thousands versus going to buy a unit. But we're talking
Okay.
2010. People just want to be
Comfortable.
comfortable.
Okay.
And that is a way of being comfortable.
Gotcha.
So I think, like I said, I went back. I think I put 15,000 in that one. And that was back when 2010, homes were only renting for like $450, $500, right? But we're talking about, to be honest, I think I paid like $5,500 for the house.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Dang.
If I'm not mistaken. So I literally have 20,000, give or take, into this house.
So
I don't have no loans.
Right.
So
you got it for 50.
no, not 50.
No.
5,500.
55. Well, that's what I'm getting at. So
that's what I paid
is it
for
because now is this more like a Chris, I ain't gonna do nothing with it. Is this like a
guess
best
so.
case?
to be honest, I think she had the house like for sale by owner for like $7,000, and I just negotiated down to
Okay.
$5,500. I couldn't believe it. I could not. So we're talking about.
So what she's saying is, we need to invest in Camden. Let's bring Camden back together, y'all.
Well, the reality is, I can't buy a house down there for that price anymore. You see, my last flip, I paid $30,000 for the house. That was the most expensive house I've purchased in Camden, and I have several rent houses down there.
Now you said you're running numbers though. What is it that you're looking at to know if it makes sense? Obviously, I'm not trying to dump on Camden.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody running to go live in Camden though.
I mean,
So what number
So
is
you think? I mean, Lockheed Martin is still there. General Dynamics is still there, I do believe. We have Aerojet.
Okay.
I'm working with a client right now out of state that's coming to work there for 2-3 years.
Gotcha.
So there's still some gyms in Camden.
Okay.
They've definitely made a lot of changes in their school districts. We have people moving from all over the world to come and be coaches and teachers.
You know why my thought has probably been tainted? Because Tyson and them up there at Walmart and them, they bringing everybody up there. And so I always
They're not
just-
bringing everybody because everybody can't go.
obviously.
Yeah.
But the idea of saying, you know what, when I get me enough money, I'm going to get me a house in Camden.
I always tell people, I have several agents when I list like investor specials, they're calling me, and guess what I'm doing? I am promoting Yes Invest. I cannot buy everything in Camden. Do I
Right.
want to? Like, I don't, honestly, it would have to be an amazing deal for me to, at this point, to buy a house to rent, because I've elevated. I either want to build something new or I'm flipping.
And that's where the duplexes came in?
That's where the duplexes came in.
So walk through that one. How did that go? So you're buying land. You're holding on to it to where it makes financial sense to build the thing. But like you keep saying, make sure the numbers make sense. What does that mean, making sure the number, to rent it out?
Well, okay, so let's back, right? So let's go, we're going to talk about just the rent and hold for just a second longer,
Okay.
right? So, which was the first thing I did. I did that for 10, 12 years.
Okay.
Bought and hold, right? So I tell people all the time, like, there's been some times where I had no money because I was so young and I was on ADOS.
Yeah.
I was spending all my money
To put back into
because that
it?
40,000 didn't last long, right?
As long as you thought it was going to.
And my dad was like, I'm going to go half with you on this house because you're going to see that 40,000 is not going to go
Yeah.
far. But he ended up working out perfect. So after the third house, it started sustaining itself, Brown Key Properties, LLC.
Okay.
So, imagine having several rent houses. You get your investment back after about 2-3 years because you've paid so little for the property. And what I started doing is, if I could buy the home at a good price and put $10,000 in it, I'm buying it.
Okay.
So I just,
On the surface, you're keeping it simple.
I'm keeping it. I'm almost to the point where I'm doing the same color exterior. I'm doing the same
Because you know those costs now.
it's a rent house,
Yeah.
right? And literally, I'm like, I know I got some paint.
Yeah.
I paint all the houses this color, right?
Open at
So
the
I
garage.
was just making it very, very simple and economical for me for it to make sense. So, and I've said this before, people are running for the for sale signs. All you have to do is get an address. If you see an abandoned home and it doesn't have a for sale sign, but you know it's abandoned because you passed by the last 3 years. You have
Nobody
not
living in
seen
there.
anyone there. No one's living there. Get the address, go to the courthouse, get the property record. The property record is going to tell you everything about the home. And guess what? Who owns it?
This is for free? I got to pay for this or what?
No, this free game. I'm giving you
Okay,
some free,
okay.
some free game.
Dang.
So guess what? On that property record, it's gonna have Thomas Brown name and address where he lived. Most time they out of state, and guess what? Uncle Joe passed away, left to them. They have no plans on not only living in Camden, but ever going back.
Right.
Right? They're paying this $200 on taxes every year. They don't even want to do it.
Yeah.
No, seriously, they don't. So guess what? I would send them a letter. Hey, I saw you have this property. Are you interested in selling? That first house was the only house that had a for sale by owner that I purchased. The other homes were me riding on Sunday, looking at vacant intentionally. Then I can negotiate the terms.
That sounds like it's easier said than done. I'm just riding by looking at a broken down house. Ooh, 123 Main Street. I see she lived there. And you say letter versus call. I can just.
There's no number on the property record.
Oh,
you have
man.
To, that's the only thing. You have to send a certified letter. So I would just send a certified letter. And like I say, they don't want the property. It was aired to them. So they're going to call you immediately. Me and my sister was talking about Uncle Joe property last week when we paid those taxes.
Man.
Sure, we want to sell it.
And $200 obviously is just more of an inconvenience. Not that they couldn't probably pay the $200.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just a,
200 adds up when you don't get a return on it.
Exactly.
That's the reality.
Okay.
Yeah. So then we negotiated the numbers, and the first home had it for sale. The other ones were either referred or I went to the courthouse. Now that's some free game.
Dang. So they say, yeah. They call, hey, girl, I won't. Yeah, you can buy it. Now what's happening? You're saying, all right, would you take X? What's happening after they call you because they got your letter?
Typically, they have a family member in town who has a key. I send my dad over with the team. Hey, let's walk through and let's see what it would take, because what did I tell you? I have a $10,000 max.
Okay.
Can we rehab this house for $10,000? If that's a yes, let's look at the numbers.
We're not saying purchase it for 10. We're saying after I buy it, whatever that number looks like, I only want to put 10 in.
$10,000 in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all go through, y'all walk around, and up to this point, you don't have a number of what you want to offer her, right?
I don't.
Okay. And so y'all do a walkthrough, y'all determine some stuff needs fixed, replaced, moved. What's happening now? You calling them back and doing what? Like, hey, y'all know all this messed up? Yeah, they know. Or they don't know.
Sometimes they know and sometimes they don't. So I'm not going to give the address to this property in Camden. But I think I was like in Bolick or something. And my dad had drove by and saw this property. Uncle had put the wall back up. No. It was a duplex, and Uncle tore the wall down.
Here we go. One level house now, or one
right.
big house.
Right. So of course the sister didn't realize it. I didn't either until my dad, we sat down and kind of looked at the property record. I was like, oh my God, this was a duplex.
Okay, so this is a good thing.
Great.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna put the wall back up. Right. It's a small, like 800 square feet situation. But of course, she never came down. The sister came down. Her daughter's husband came over to meet us, and she was like, $2,500.
Are you keeping your poker face at this point? You're like, you know what? Let me.
And people will in Camden may know, may not. I don't know, because I don't have any property in my name. So they're all in LLCs. So
it sounds like a great deal. Okay.
I'm like I said, I'm at Bolick. I'm on the phone with my dad, and I was like, don't throw out a number. Let them throw out a number, and we'll negotiate from there. So I heard the $2,500, and I'm thinking $2,500 for both sides. Well, no, they don't know that because Uncle knocked the wall down, right? So I was like, repeat the offer, like $2,500. We're good.
Come on.
Sold for $2,500. Sold for $2,500. Put that wall back up.
And now you got two separates.
So let's be clear.
This is from a letter too. This is from a letter?
This is from me sending a certified letter to Richland, Texas, because I remember where I sent that letter to.
Is this as simple as me just open up Word doc, sign it down at the bottom, or is there some special stuff I got to do for this certified letter? I got to get it notarized.
You can Google, intent to buy, intent to sell letters. But of course, I use easylandlordforms.com, which they have all those type letters in there. And I had a mentor that helped me, told me what to do, so just like I'm telling you.
So easylandlord.com.
Easylandlord.com.
We're going to take a clip of this and put that.
I put it on my story before. I love it. I've used it the entire time I've had rental property. So since 2010.
That way you're not having it's not a CRM, it's just for documents.
Right. It's a subscription. You have to pay annually. It's state specific.
That's clutch.
Yeah. So it's already, vetted law-wise. Everything is legal.
Oh, dang. Yeah, that's clutch. I thought it was more so just, hey, here's some words you probably need to say.
No. If I need to do an eviction, you put an eviction in search, and an eviction will come up for Arkansas. lease,
Mm-hmm.
how to apply,
That's clutch.
intent to sell. So
So they give you the price. You're like, all right, cool, that works for me, or whatever it is you do. And now, are you hopping back on that website and you're coming up with a contract, or you having to go to the title company? Because this isn't
So-
traditional.
right. So for this case, there's no realtors involved.
Okay.
So you do title search. You do have to go through the title search piece to make sure there's no liens, things like that on the home.
What is that?
A lien, like there's no tax liens on
No,
the
the
home.
title search. Like, are y'all both going to a title place?
Title company. Typically, you use the same, title company, save money, right?
Got you.
They run to make sure, again, there's no tax liens, no mortgages, things like that on the home, so that it's clear to sell. So from that point, you get your clearance, then you do the exchange, the monetary exchange, take the information to the courthouse, get everything switched over into your name out of their name.
That back end stuff sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, that's why they're amazing title companies and amazing people who do that.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking you're having to go and do these.
I did on those properties. These
Oh,
are my
dang.
investment properties. So yeah, I had to go to these respective locations to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just like when you buy a house, you're going to see a realtor, lender, title company, home inspector. You're going to see all those people. You're not doing the work. You're just getting with the people who are the expertise.
Tracking. I was like, 'cause I don't even feel like I did a lot of stuff. I just
exactly.
that's a part of having a dope agent.
Yeah, dope agent.
All right. I got a last few questions here from you real quick. Actually, let me go back because I want to make sure I got this investment thing down.
Yeah, because you.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So
That's a whole podcast talking about
yeah.
investing. You do know that.
well, I know, but here's the thing: $2,500. What's the difference of me just getting the $2,500 or you giving her the $2,500 and getting the key? What's all up? What's with
Because
the?
I don't know if I want to make sure that the house is clear to be transferred into my name. And I'm not going to take $2,500 and then I go up to the courthouse to get this house put in my name and I can't because there's some type of lien on it or some type of mortgage.
Does that automatically fall on you?
It's never going to fall on me because I'm not going to buy it because it's going to be cleared up before I get it.
Okay. So they are saying.
So somebody has to absorb that cost, right? So either just say, oh, it has $1,000 mortgage left. Okay, do you want to assume that? Okay, I'll pay that off too. Or no, I'm not. You all will pay it. I buy the house.
Okay, so we did all that back end stuff that seemed daunting. When are you making the decision if you're going to hold it or
Flip
fix
it.
and fix and flip it? Wait, what does that look like in regards of determining which direction to go?
So honestly, I didn't even really know anything about flipping when I
Okay,
started, right? So I was just excited and enthused with being able to buy and hold and make this residual
I got a
money
rental
every
property.
month. Yeah, I got rental property, right? Yeah, I'm a landlord.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you meet more people. You're educating yourself more. So now, honestly, I was kind of like given options. Like, you have these homes. You don't have mortgages on them. You can do, like a line of credit against, the home.
You about to have us go down a whole nother
I
rabbit
know.
hole.
That's why I'm.
Dang.
I know. Like you can. That's why I tell people, man, that first property can. I put it on my story. I think last night. That first property can change your life. But like I said, it was hard. I mean, people. We do make good money as an officer, but just imagine buying homes. Like I said, my parents, went half for me. Like on the first 3 properties, it was a lot. And to be honest, I'm just probably seeing my return on all of that in 2022 when I built the duplexes.
Because now you're like it's all starting to catch up, or you feel like you did some stuff not.
Because I
The
think
right way.
because I kept buying. So I kept
Oh,
investing
okay.
the money. I kept investing the money. So then I think I was maybe at year, I don't know, it may have been between year 5, 6, 7, where, okay, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to let the money stack up, right? Because when you
Oh, you're flipping all the money that's coming in from the pieces.
from the other rentals, right? I'm buying more property. I'm
Gotcha.
buying more property and I'm renovating and I'm renting them out. So then when you get to a point where, okay, let me just kind of chill on buying and let the money just grow, right? Then, you're looking at, hypothetically, 7 homes drawing this much money. You don't have any mortgage. So all you really have is insurance and taxes,
Got you.
right?
Okay. Yep.
So what buying and holding did for me was allow me to transition to developing, which is, Browning Estate luxury duplexes. So I think I purchased that land 2020 or 2021. It was like 11,000. It was 3 lots. Bought the land, paid off over like a 12-month time frame.
Just the land.
Just the land.
Yep.
Just the
Okay.
land, because I didn't want to have to finance land in with the bill.
Tracking.
Right.
Okay.
So bought the land, paid it off, and then transition into building. Because when you transition into new development, there is a 15% down payment that you have to do. So for mine, I think maybe $195 or so.
15% off.
Yeah,
Of it.
$28,000 is what I had to come up with to build those duplexes. Subtract that, end up financing $172 or something like that, right?
Are they looking at duplexes as one house, 2 house, or as you're building, it's all one? Big
One roof.
thing?
Yep, it's one roof
Oh,
with
roofs.
a divider. Yeah.
Okay. So I hear sometimes investors on social media will say how many doors they have, and that's referring to one client is paying this much. This client is paying this
Yep.
much. Okay.
When they say doors, they're meaning doors, like duplexes at 2 doors.
Okay.
Because they're getting money off of both of those doors.
Even though it's under one roof.
Yeah, because it's a duplex. It's only going to be one roof with a divider in the middle.
This is gonna sound bad, but being that I have a very general understanding of this type of stuff, and let's say you bust in, I don't know, $1,200 to $1,500 for rent. If I'm just doing general math, if I'm adding up all these $1,500 for somebody who's renting, and I know it's sometimes it's more advantageous for an individual to rent because maybe they move so much.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm not trying to sound. If you don't spend that much on renting, why don't you just go ahead and buy a house?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because, see, look at the market now. The landlords have shifted the narrative so bad to where people are literally paying mortgages and they're renting. Right? So I encourage people all the time, because the reality is, like you said, they're going to always be renters. I'm not worried, not one bit, on trying to encourage my tenants to buy a home.
Okay. Business wise, that makes sense.
Right, because guess what? Not even if you don't even have to buy from me.
Okay.
Because my house is gonna rent, because there's always people looking to rent because they're not ready to buy, whether it's employment, whether it's need to save money, whether it's credit.
Got
And then
you.
some people are ready to buy and don't even realize that they can because they're not educated on the process.
Right.
So there are a lot of variables when you say, well, since you're paying $900 in rent, why don't you just buy? Some people don't even realize they can buy a home. They don't even know what a lender does.
Mm-hmm.
So
And so you do a lot of workshops over in your side of town. How are people knowing about those? Or at first, I guess, why? Why do you do those?
I do that for that very question that you asked. I know, just like when I bought my first home, I didn't know all the intricate details about buying a home. Someone had to educate me. So that was when I became a real estate agent. That was like really my first tier, was to put individuals from my hometown in homes, because again, I know employment is good down there. Obviously there are people there with good credit.
Yeah.
They just have not been introduced to the home buying process. So that's why I do a home buying seminar there twice a year. My first flip sold to a young lady that attended the first seminar. And what was crazy is she was like, I've always wanted to live on Lincoln Drive. I want to buy your house. I was like, really?
Yeah.
But there are so many blessings in just
I was
doing
saying,
the work.
I know that make you feel good.
Oh my
It's like,
God.
that's crazy.
It makes me feel really good. So people need to know about the process. They need to, know that they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you realize that my landlord's gonna keep raising this price up, you start to shift your mindset,
Right.
and you're coming to these these seminars trying to figure out, what do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
Because home ownership is a luxury. Like,
Right.
Yeah, will things break? Absolutely. Just like the things are going to break in your rent house. That's why you have home warranties.
Exactly.
That you pay for it and you pay your deductible and they come out and fix. Most people don't realize it.
I did not until this second home. I had renter's insurance.
At your apartment.
Correct.
Yep.
And then understanding that I guess I think I had to have it for. Do you have to have a homeowners or home warranty?
You don't have to, but I always encourage. I have not closed a deal that
That's what my
have
real
not
estate
had a
agent said.
home warranty involved in it. Now you typically only get it for 1
1
year,
year, yep.
but you can pick it up once once it expires that 1 year. I got one on my home. I'm going to keep them.
So when we say the term home warranty versus renter insurance, these are one and the same.
No, renter's insurance is when you're renting. So if someone breaks in,
I guess that term for renting is what that is for home warranty. Gotcha.
yes.
Gotcha.
So home warranty is to cover you if anything breaks in your home, because you don't need a home warranty on something you're renting, because if something breaks, the landlord has to come and fix it.
They issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So you just need to cover your items in something you're renting. Burn up, the house burns down, somebody breaks in, you have coverage to get money to replace those things.
You got somebody you be talking to for a home warranty? Is that like a local person? I think I need to get them on here because I don't really know all the stuff I'm eligible for. You also do a nonprofit. You always doing stuff for the kids. Crystal love the kids. Crystal love the kids.
I'm gonna have me some kids. I love them so much.
Gosh.
Why don't people want me to have kids?
First
What's the
off, I
problem?
don't understand why folks in business be doing all this stuff for kids. Not saying I don't love the kids, but all I'm saying is, how about you help your fellow businessman? Help us out. There's some nonprofits where other business owners can benefit. The kids have not because maybe their parents have not. And if the parents go get the resources and the information, follow me.
Let me drink some.
See what I'm saying? If the kids go, if the family, if they knew where the information was, if you was just all out here helping Camden, you know what? Running for mayor. Have you considered running for mayor? Because that's what it seemed like you're doing. You're going to buy back the block anyway. Why not just go ahead and be an intricate peg in the whole system of what makes Camden Camden? That way you can just put your staple on it.
I might.
Oh, all right then. Okay.
I mean,
But you ain't, is what I'm saying.
I'm
You
not
haven't.
close. I haven't, because you can't be AGR and play
Oh, that's
in
right.
politics.
Be for
You know
office.
that.
That's correct. That's correct. So when Mayor and Bryant gets up, I cannot wait for y'all to see how I'm about to do this thing. There's an old TV show. It only did one season on Hulu, and I think it's called like "What If I Was Mayor." You seen it? It was like a little black kid. He ran for mayor for his city as a joke and ended up winning.
Oh wow.
But now he was like, "All right, I need to get it together.
What's next?
Right.
What am I doing?
What I need to
right
do now?" So you do nonprofits, and there's also another thing that you are in. I was trying to think of it. So we got the real estate side of. Is it just those two?
I think.
Why shoes? Why not give them scholarship? Boom. See what I'm saying? I know more than what she got
She said,
pushing out.
why shoot? That was just a Christmas giveaway. That
Oh,
was,
this is all under the scholarship thing.
yes. Yes.
Okay. Scholarships.
Yes.
You're doing those every year. They go into one individual, a couple individuals. Can you tell me about the scholarship that you do?
A scholarship. So it is an approved 501c3 charitable.
Hold on. Why you got to say the part at the beginning? Is that makes a difference in
Yes. So when people donate, they can get a receipt to file on their taxes.
tracking?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's important to people who are making donations.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's Key Opportunity Foundation. You see, I have a key in just about every business.
Couldn't get away from that. Let me guess. It's the
have.
letter K too, huh?
It is.
Absolutely.
Yes, with Key.
Yep.
K-E-Y. Yeah. Yeah.
This was kind of for you to expound on the scholarship part. We wanted the folks to know where they can probably go and donate.
I am.
When they can.
You throwing me off right now. Okay, so okay, the scholarship is something that like I always wanted to do, and I was like, when I get to a point in my real estate, because Brown Key Property is an arm that supports Key Opportunity Foundation.
Do the level so I can understand.
Well, we know Brown Key was first.
Brown Key, okay.
So Brown Key, which is Brown Key Properties LLC.
Mm-hmm.
So the rental income supports funds Key Opportunity Foundation, the 501c3.
Perfect. Tracking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a scholarship that we publish every year on my birthday. I'm a little late this year because I took off in
Take your
January.
time. You be busy. You be busy.
I forgot to even ask Corey to make the flyer. That's how relaxed I was. So I just posted, I think, on the 1st. So it provides 3 individuals with scholarship, one 1,000, one 750, and one $500 scholarship to any school, vocational, because everybody's not going to college.
There you go.
They have to write a 500-word essay on whatever topic the board elects. They can complete this application online. They can print it off from the website, write it in or type it in, and mail it to the P.O. box. But again, I typically drop that on January 21st. I dropped it on February 1st this year. And the deadline to apply is April 11th, 2025.
Just for seniors?
Just for graduating seniors.
Okay.
I have opened it up this year. So typically it's for seniors graduating from Camden, Fairview, but I've opened it up to surrounding areas. So that's Camden, that's Fordyce, that's Harmony Grove, that's El Dorado, because a lot of people don't apply. So I wanted to have a larger applicant pool for the board to select from this year.
You know, a lot of people don't. You think it's that they don't apply themselves, or is that like on you? Because there's like a ton of scholarships that get.
A ton. A lot of people either wait to the last minute.
Okay.
You wouldn't believe, because honestly, I go to my P.O. box really maybe 3 times a year, right? I always go around scholarship time, but after April 11th, I have no reason to go back. Honestly, unless I'm extending it, right? Because the award ceremony is the first Friday in May. So we have to get the application, get it to the board so they can rank them, so I can get big checks made.
Got you.
I get laptops for all 3. I have to go get laptops and be ready to present the first Friday in May.
Dang. Thou Wow laptop. Both these are two things under one.
Yeah, so the 1,000, he or she will get $1,000 sent to the school.
More like he, but yeah.
Yeah, and they'll get a laptop and they get a big check, each applicant.
You send it to the school. You don't trust me to. And do
I'm
they
paying for school.
and do they have to maintain or anything like that, or is this first semester or what?
So it depends on the school. Some I just send the entire in fall, and some
Okay.
want me to, break it down fall, spring. But I actually do check-ins because you want to make sure that you're getting a return on your
Absolutely.
money, right? So
Shoot.
it's been pretty good for us, the ROI. But at the end of the day, life happens, and it's just something that I'm gonna do regardless.
Yeah.
So some have not graduated college. I'm okay with that because they took a different turn.
Absolutely. I did probably at this point, I think I've been to 6 different colleges so far. And now I'm at A-State. But
You have a degree?
anyway, so I think what's really great is that the experience, like you just mentioned. You
You
go
don't need
out.
that much experience. What are you?
I don't know what I want to go to school for.
Are you a reviewer?
Okay.
A school reviewer?
Shout out to the Arkansas Army National Guard for paying for school. When you don't know what you want to do, but you know you need some resources and some training, the
They
Army
will do
National
it.
Guard.
Shout out Arkansas Army National
Because
Guard.
I don't know. Well, I'm solid with A-State because A-State does this type of stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
this already makes sense. So final thoughts. We've already talked about you about to retire in about 3 years. So you about to have all this plethora of time. But the next 5 years, what's your next goal? What you foresee yourself doing? What do you feel like doubling down on moving forward? I'm putting you on the spot for your hopes and
My
dreams.
hopes and my dreams. I hope to continue progressing. Jesus, yeah. Can you cut that piece?
I won't. If anything, this will be at the beginning.
No, I hope to continue progressing in the military. I feel like I'm working towards defining military and being okay if I close that chapter in 3 years. Regardless of wanting to be a brigadier general,
Right.
you have to be okay with how chapters end, right? Because it's been a great career. I've been able to do everything that I'm doing right now because of the military, and I won't ever forget that. I want to continue working with soldiers because I absolutely, love
training
it.
and stuff.
Training, creating opportunities for them to grow because, again, somebody has to come up and fill our shoes in the military. Far as real estate, I want to, before the year is out, I want to procure me some land to build some homes. I'm not saying that I will build the homes this year, but I would love to close out the year with some land. I don't care if it's if I can build 7 homes on them. If I can build 5 homes.
Doggone it. Give me the land.
Just give me the land. So that's what I'm working towards right now. I want first-time home buyers to have better options for affordable homes, new homes, nice homes.
Got you.
So I want to, hopefully I can maybe meet like, the owner of Roush Coleman and sit down and talk to, that owner to look at his, blueprint and do Crystal Browning
That'd be dope.
vibe-ish.
And here's also the thing, Mr. Roush Coleman. You got to have a media guy to capture all this. So when y'all hop on that jet, because I already know Zach, when y'all hop on the jet, you got to have a person to just document, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Don't you forget
Don't sleep
about
on
me.
Avery.
There you go.
Brian.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So I'm still figuring out if I'm going the broker route, but I am going to go to broker training
One step at a
this
time.
year. I became eligible in December.
Wait, hold on. They all hear it. Wait. You won't hear it because you ain't got your headphones on, but
I
that's
can
the.
hear it.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So, but 2 licensures or certificates I want to get this year is broker. Like I say, may hold it. Like I'm the queen of holding,
Right.
okay? And I'm studying right now for my general contractor's license.
Heard that. Heard
So,
that.
the goal is to be out here building,
Come on.
how's it all price points
Doggone
like
it.
that?
Doggone it. And then putting that style on it. Like, y'all ain't gonna believe this, but this is only 400,000.
It's
Oh,
only $199.
see what I'm saying? Because I can just see you just having something that's just dope. It just looks high end, but super
Yeah.
affordable.
Yes.
And that's gonna be your play. And final piece: how can people get in touch with you to get information, to speak with you, and all the things?
So
Or you don't want them to hit you up?
I'm very available.
Okay, just have to make
My
sure.
number, my email is on every post that I make. But you can always reach out to me on all of my social media outlets: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
You got your TikTok yet?
Yes.
Okay, good.
TikTok. They're all straight Crystal Browning. You can contact me at crystalbrowning.com.
Mm-hmm. You went and bought it, huh?
Well, I had always had it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You held it.
That's right.
You
So,
held
because
it.
of course, me being extra the first year, I wanted to do what buy and sell with KB in 2023. But I had bought
Heard that.
crystalbrowning.com.
Heard that. If
So,
anything.
I transitioned it over.
Oh, dang. Okay. These were 2 separates. Very clever.
Yeah.
I want to tell you guys something real quick. Now, with everything that you do in life, especially like some of these new developments that you go out to, like usually around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, the builder's no longer there. And so sometimes people like to go and walk through these homes. But if you want to steal stuff, you probably want to do it either after 8 o'clock around that time frame when ain't nobody there, or you want to steal from your friends. Why? Because they are the ones that least expect it. So when you need something, make sure to know that's who you probably need to hit up first. So we'll be back on the next one. Thank you so much, Crystal, for being here, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you for having me.
It may not mean nothing to y'all. That's when Drake was cool with Lil Wayne, and they had, you don't remember? Hey, if you want to steal stuff, you probably want to do it either after 8 o'clock